If this creature knocks on your door on Halloween, make sure you give it candy. 2 years ago, all the inhabitants of a small town went missing except for a young girl named Tara. When police asked her where everyone went, she told them that there was some type of monster with large horns that went door to door asking for candy, but that her town had stopped giving out candy on Halloween. She watched as each time a family didn't fill up the creature's pillowcase with candy, it dragged them into the river behind the town. Tara later said that she was the only one who survived because she had a small Snickers bar her teacher had given her, and she offered it to the creature, who nodded, patted her on the head, and went back to the river without her. This is why you should always check your shoes for spiders. David was getting ready for school and was about to put his shoe on when he luckily caught a glimpse of something inside. He screamed and threw his shoe against the wall. Inside was a creature the size of a large mouse that was half spider and half human. Before he could run, the creature scurried over on the floor towards him and let out a screech. David shut the door and called for help, but when his parents came to check his room, it was gone. They told him he made the story up and he would still have to sleep in his room tonight. This is why you should never summon a demon. A few days ago, Daniel tried to summon a demon with his friends on Halloween night. They thought it didn't work until they saw a terrifying figure appear in front of them. Daniel barely escaped, but the demon took 2 of his friends, turning them into pumpkins and setting them in a great field of souls. Does anyone know how Daniel can stop the demon before it takes him next? This is why music really can kill you. Merry Melody is an urban legend about a young man and woman who heard strange far-off music during a camping trip in the desert. They were curious, so they went closer and met this, a creature 9 feet tall holding some type of ancient instrument and staring down at them. They tried to run, but the creature began playing an evil song and their heads exploded. The coroners later said that their eardrums exploded so violently that it was like a shotgun blast going off. Some people that live nearby say they hear a strange tune far away every full moon, but they never go closer. This is why everyone is afraid of dolls. In 1948, Jonathan Parker woke up after midnight to find something staring at him in his bed. It was a doll with red hair and bright eyes, and as if that wasn't enough, it had a note on it. At first, Jonathan thought his brothers were just playing a trick on him, but as he glanced over at their beds, he noticed they were still sound asleep. Jonathan grabbed his reading glasses and read the note. It said, "Miss me?" It was then that Jonathan noticed there was something even more frightening directly behind the doll, a creature with sharp teeth and glaring red eyes. He screamed. But when his family awoke, the doll and the creature were gone. There was one piece of evidence, though, that he still has to this day: the note. This is why if your dog ever barks at night, you should listen to it. Emma was about to fall asleep when her dog began to bark at something outside her window. She was tired and lived in a safe neighborhood, so she didn't pay attention and told the dog to be quiet. Minutes later, there was the sound of glass breaking and loud screams. Emma made it to the window just in time to see a tall humanoid creature without a face dragging the entire family next door into the woods behind the neighborhood. She later told police that the creature looked directly at her, and even though it didn't have a face, she swore that it somehow grinned at her. This is why you might live forever. The dead have been rising from their graves in Norway due to scientists experimenting and bringing different humans and even movie characters to life. They started with creating Thanos and Iron Man, who battled each other for days before both escaping the lab. The scientists have claimed that they have the ability to bring any of us back from the dead, but we might be brought back evil. Would you want them to bring you back, or would you be afraid you might come back as some type of zombie? And what do you think happened to Iron Man and Thanos?